You are a Broome County Health Department enteric disease interviewer who was just forwarded a foodborne illness complaint received by your call center over the weekend. After reviewing the initial information provided, you attempt to get more information from the complainant, Jordan Reed, a 32-year-old resident in your county. In this video, you'll hear a health department interviewer conduct an interview with Jordan, who believes she already knows what made her ill and is unwilling to provide additional information. This video models how to acknowledge concerns when a person is convinced they know what made them ill, redirect a conversation, and collect critical information needed for public health investigations. Please note that in this video, we use the terms complainant and interviewee interchangeably.
Hello, may I speak with Jordan Reed?
This is Jordan, who's calling.
Hi, Jordan. My name is Taylor, and I'm calling from the Broome County Health Department about your foodborne illness complaint. Is now an okay time to talk for a few minutes?
Sure, but I already told the person over the weekend that it was a chicken shop, so I'm not sure what else you need. When someone is convinced they know what made them ill, start by validating their concern and acknowledging that they may be right. This builds trust and reduces defensiveness. Collect detailed information about the suspected establishment, symptom onset date and time, specific symptoms, and foods and drinks consumed. This information can be helpful in determining whether their suspect food item is likely to have caused their illness or not.
You may be right, Jordan, and thanks for providing us with that initial information. Getting sick from something you ate is extremely frustrating. I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, we mostly are, but it wasn't great.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you're recovering. For us to follow up with the restaurant, we need a little bit more information from you so we have a better idea of what to look for.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was definitely a chicken shop, though. They should be shut down.
Can you remind me the date and time you ate at Chicken Shop and at which location it was? I see there are a few in the area.
We ate dinner there on November 19th. We went after seeing a new holiday movie, so it was probably around 6, and it was at the Central Park location.
Great, thanks for that information. Now I'm going to ask some questions about when you became ill, your symptoms, and what foods you ate.
While foodborne illness complaints may only involve a single individual becoming ill, it is also common to receive complaints involving multiple individuals within a group becoming ill after dining at an establishment. Individuals may be reluctant to provide you with contact information for dining companions. Build rapport and increase trust by explaining that speaking with others who ate with them can help determine what may have caused the illness. If they are still reluctant to share others' information, ask them to check with the other individuals first or give them your contact information to share with their dining companions.
It sounds like you went with a group of people. Did anyone else get sick?
Yeah, there were 8 of us. My husband and our 2 kids and another family of 4. My husband and son were also sick. My daughter was fine, but she's super picky and only ate French fries. My friend mentioned that they were also not feeling well the next day.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Do you know when your husband and son started having symptoms and what they each ate at Chicken Shop?
Yeah, my husband started having diarrhea the next morning around 8 a.m., and my son woke us up around 3 a.m. after throwing up.
Did your friends happen to attend the holiday movie with you? Have you shared any other meals with the friends you were there with in the past week or so?
No, they live in a different part of town, so we only see them a few times a year.
Would you be willing to share your friend's name and number with me? I would like to follow up with them to find out more about their illness and what they ate at the restaurant as well. The more information we have, the more likely we are to be able to figure out what may have happened.
I'm not sure I feel comfortable giving you that information.
Would you like to reach out to them first to check? Or I could give you my contact information to share with them. Talking to them would really help us in trying to pin down the food item that may have led to your illnesses and prevent others from also getting sick.
I suppose it would be okay to pass along your information to them.
That would be great. Thank you.
If a person sought medical care and was tested for an enteric disease, you can follow up with their provider to obtain lab results. Identifying the pathogen can help you determine whether the suspected food item fits the incubation period and symptoms. However, many people who file complaints do not seek care at all, or seek care but are not tested and may be hesitant to share their provider's information. If they weren't tested, determine if they would be willing to submit a stool sample.
Did you or any of your family members seek medical care?
No, I called our doctor, but they just told us to stay hydrated and use over the counter medicine. They told us to let them know if we didn't start feeling better after 48 hours.
Gotcha. Yeah, in these situations, it is helpful to have testing done so we know what germ we're dealing with. Certain germs are more likely to be associated with certain foods or cooking practices, so knowing what you were ill with can help us direct our investigation. Do you think you, your husband, or your son would be willing to provide us with a stool sample so we can try to figure out what you're sick with?
Maybe. What does the testing involve and how much does it cost?
Yeah, that's a great question. But we'll provide you with the collection kit and instructions so you can submit a stool sample, which we'll send to our laboratory for testing. In this situation, the health department would cover the cost of testing. What other questions do you have?
Okay. Well, I want to know what we had. I think one of us can probably do the stool sample.
Awesome. Yeah, that would be really great. And that would help us to shed some light on what happened here. Someone from our agency will be in touch to coordinate drop off and pick up with detailed instructions and supplies.
Individuals may believe their illness was caused by something that tasted off or by the most recent food they ate, also known as last meal bias. Briefly explain that symptoms can take some time to develop after ingesting the food that made them ill, so it's important to consider all possible exposures.
All right, before we wrap up, I'd like to get a little information about other exposures you may have had in the 3 days before you started to feel ill.
And I'm telling you, it was chicken. I don't know why you need other information.
I completely understand why you suspect the chicken shop. We just like to get a broader food history in these situations to cover our bases, since some germs can take days or even weeks to make people sick after ingesting them. We collect this information from all persons we interview.
Well, okay, but again, the chicken tasted really bad, and my family got sick too. It had to be that.
And it definitely could have been. But again, we just want to cover all of our bases. I really appreciate you helping us out by answering these questions. During the 3 days before you started feeling ill, which would be from November 16th to November 19th, did you eat food from any restaurants besides the chicken shop?
When the interviewee repeatedly returns to the suspected item, use concise, respectful redirection to keep the interview on track. I mean, nothing else would have made me sick. Why are you even asking me about that? I know it was a chicken shop.
I understand. We want to make sure that we're looking at the full picture and checking whether we've received complaints related to any other places you recently ate at. Are you able to think of any other places you got food from, including takeout or delivery?
Ugh, fine, I did get a sandwich from the deli near work, but I didn't get sick from that.
Okay, great. Do you remember the name of the deli and what kind of sandwich you got? Thank you for going through those questions with me, Jordan. The information you provided here will help us figure out what's going on. What questions do you have for me?
I'm pretty frustrated that this all happened to us. It completely ruined our holiday, and I even had to take a few days off work to take care of my son. Can you shut down the chicken shop for this, or can I sue them? If the complainant asks for legal advice during an interview, let them know that you're not able to give legal advice and redirect them.
So, unfortunately, I'm not able to provide legal advice. My role here is to talk through what happened with your illness and food history to see if I can understand what may have caused you to feel sick. Based on what we know right now, I can't say what will happen to the chicken shop. If we do identify concerns with their food safety practices, The local health department's environmental team will follow up directly with them. They'd also be the best group to talk to if you have additional questions or concerns about the chicken shop. I can provide you with their information if you'd like.
Got it. Yeah. Can you give me their phone number? When a person is convinced they know what made them ill, acknowledge that the suspected item could be the source of their illness, but keep the door open for other possibilities. Collect detailed information about the suspect exposure, including establishment name and address, symptom information, including onset date and time and symptom duration, date and time of the meal, what each person ate and drank, and how the item was prepared or served. For example, if there were any menu modifications or if the item was served well done versus rare. Gather information about others who ate with them, including contact details, how many people went to the restaurant, how many people got sick, how many households they represent, how many people did not get sick, and what each person ate. Determine whether stool samples have been collected or if they would be willing to submit samples. Individuals may believe their illness was caused by something that tasted off or by the most recent food they ate. Briefly explain that symptoms can take time to develop after ingesting the item that made them ill. So it's important to consider all possible exposures, such as other recent meals, recent travel, and animal or water exposures. Redirect the interviewee as needed. If they repeatedly return to a suspected item, use concise, respectful redirection to keep the interview focused on gathering all relevant information. And lastly, if an interviewee asks for legal advice, let them know that you're not able to provide this type of information and redirect them back to the interview.